All right, welcome back to the Justin Prince Show. I want to walk you through a solo episode where we can talk about the power of words. And at the risk that you feel like you already understand this or already know this or that this is stuff that is repetitive, I want to share with you some new insights and some new ways to think about it and some new perspectives that will help you take your life to the next level by both the way that you use your words and then also the power and the weight that you're giving the words of other people that are affecting your life. So, I first learned, the power of words when I was 15 years old. My dad had hired a trainer for me. So I'd always, done push-ups and been in athletics and done pull-ups, but I never actually lifted weights. So I go to the gym for the first time. Any of you that have been to the gym for the first time or can remember back to when you went for the first time, you have that feeling of like, what am I doing here? Everyone else seems to know what they're doing. You're not sure, what you're doing. Their form all seems perfect. Your form doesn't seem perfect. They all seem to be wearing the right clothes. You don't seem to feel like you're wearing the right clothes, right? And I'm sitting back in the back, a little bit intimidated, and I see a guy come walking across the gym. This dude is 6 feet 2 inches tall. He's 300 pounds, and he's 10% body fat. Do any of you have any idea what a human looks like when they're 6'2", 300 pounds, and 10% body fat? Guys, it looks like their shoulders block out the sun. They have the small waist, huge thighs, massive calves. His arms were 22 inches. I mean, just massive. He had a tank top on. He had a bandana. He had a loop earring. He had tattoos all the way up both sleeves of his arms, across his chest. Even had neck tattoos. I was speaking up at the Summit County Jail here in Utah for a bunch of the inmates, and I was telling them, I go, any of your friends that have neck tattoos, might want to check yourself, and a bunch of them had neck tattoos. And I was like, guys, it's a joke. Okay, it's a joke. So anyway, the point is this guy looks super intimidating, right? He comes walking across the gym, shakes my dad's hand. I'm sitting on a bench. He goes, stand up. I'm like, yes, sir. He goes, put your shoulders back. I'm like, yes, sir. Super intimidated. He said, your dad wants me to train you. He said, but I have 3 rules. He said, rule number 1, never be late. He said, it's disrespectful to your dad and it's disrespectful to me. He said, if you're late, I won't train you. I was like, yes, sir. Whatever you say, I had a fear for this guy, And he said, rule number 2, he said, don't come to the gym with rat breath. I thought, rat breath? What does that even mean? And he said, yeah. He said, I don't want you to come to the gym and, you're 15 years old and I'm spotting you and you're like, doing a set and you're breathing all over me. He goes, make sure you brush your teeth or you use gum or a Tic Tac. And I remember thinking to myself, man, I'm 15 years old. All I really care about is my sports and girls, and, working out and girls. I was like, this is pretty good advice. No rat breath, good advice in the gym and out of the gym. And then he said, rule number 3. He said, I never want to hear you say that you can't do something. He said, you have a conscious and a subconscious mind. And he said, your subconscious will believe whatever you tell it. And he said, so if you say, I can't lift this weight, I'm not strong enough, I don't have what it takes, I'm tired, I'm worn out, this is too much for me. He says, your subconscious mind will believe you if you will tell it all those things. I thought, okay, yes, sir. Out of fear for him, respect for him, yes, sir, I'll do it. So a few sessions in, he takes the pin, the stack, the weight stack, and he takes the pin and puts it way down. And I'm thinking to myself, not saying it, but thinking to myself, oh, there's no chance I can lift this weight. But out of fear and respect for this guy, I don't say anything, right? Well, guess what, my friends? I lift the weight. A number of sessions later, he loads some more weights onto the bar. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no chance I can lift that. That's way too much for me. But again, out of fear and out of respect and out of discipline for the promise I kept, and made to him, I wanted to keep it. I didn't say anything out loud. I just thought, I'm not going to say it. And guess what? I lifted the weight. Now, here's what's interesting. I took this idea of not saying negative to the next level, which is I began to speak positive. I began to say like, yo, I got this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I own this weight. I'm going to crush this. Some of you remember watching Ronnie Coleman, the famous, Olympian bodybuilder. He took it to a whole different kind of level. And in his old kind of worn out gym, he used to yell out, lightweight, baby. It's this idea that like, he kind of convinced himself like, yo, this is light for me. I got this. And he could then get under and, squat 800 pounds or whatever it was, right? The point is they learn to use the power of the tongue. They learn to use the power of their words. This was this lesson that was instilled in me. Now, I've taken this to not only not speak negative, only speak positive into the business world. I've been in really stressful situations as an entrepreneur where you're kind of at those watershed moments where it's like the water's coming down. It's going to hit the one side of the shed, you're in business. Next side of the shed, you're not in business. These watershed moments. And created these moments where I thought, how are we going to get through this? Or I was thinking to myself, man, we're screwed. Or I don't know if we have what it takes. Or I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. But what I relied back on this discipline and the power of the words. And not only did I not speak negative, I only spoke positive, and I'd say, we got this. We're going to get through this. We are smart. We're well-intentioned. We're going to figure this thing out. What questions are the new questions we need to be asking? So my friends, you start applying this concept. Now, in interpersonal skills, interpersonal meaning when we're working with our teams, we're building groups, we're building teams of people, building companies, building families, you can also use this. You can use this where I tell people, if you wouldn't say it to someone's face, everyone now has keyboard courage. You guys know how people are. They're so brave with their keyboard courage. They wouldn't say it face to face. In fact, face to face, we're super nice. Oh my gosh, how are you? And then, they turn around, they walk away. We're like, oh, she's so lame. That kind of thing. It's like we all have keyboard courage. We all have courage when they're not there. So if you wouldn't say it to someone's face, don't say it, don't type it, don't repeat it. So if you wouldn't speak it face to face, don't speak it when they're gone. You don't say it, you don't type it. Meaning if they were there and they saw what you texted and they were looking over your shoulder and they knew what you were saying about them, don't type that stuff out. And then lastly, you don't repeat it. The only thing that gives a rumor life is breath. You keep repeating, did you hear about so-and-so and the coworker and the person on the team? And you constantly are repeating all the negativity and maybe the lies or the half-truths or the disinformation. You're kind of like, what? This is what I heard about them. What do you think? And you just spread the rumor. You give it life through your breath. What if you just disciplined yourself? You said, no more negatives coming out about myself and no more negative words about anybody else. I'm just not going to speak negative. Imagine if you were to discipline your kids this way. Kids, we only speak positive about our friends. We only speak positive about the coaches. We only speak positive about the team. We only speak positive about the people that we hang out with. Now, doesn't mean that you can't, create, constructive correction and so on. But just as a general rule, we don't speak negative. Now, here's what's interesting. There's an old Bible verse that says that life and death is in the power of the tongue. Talk about how the tongue's kind of a small member, but life and death is in the power of the tongue. It's almost like you can speak life into your future, you can speak death into your future. I tell people, create your future with your future, not your past. Create your future with your future vision of yourself, your future vision of the person you're looking to be versus who you are. And also you create your future vision of yourself versus the one you were in the past. You create your future with your future versus your past. And you speak life into that future. Here's who I am. We're not always all our best self, right? Like sometimes we're kind of our lesser self. We're tired, we're hungry, we're grumpy, we're angry, we're stressed out. Cool. I get it. That's one of the reasons creating and maintaining your emotional state and your emotional maturity is so important. But here's the thing, is you discipline yourself to never speak negative. You just don't speak death into your future. You don't let it speak death into the future of the relationship or in the future of the business or the future of your friendships or the future of your marriage. You only speak life into this stuff. Now, here's the flip side of this. The flip side is, why do we give so much weight? Let me do a pickup right there. Dang it. There's been research done at both Georgetown and Harvard University. Christina Porath did research where she said that our positive or neutral words, our positive words are 10 times, 10x more powerful than the thought. She also said that our negative words, so positive's 10x in the positive up direction. Your negative words are 40 to 70x in the negative direction. So my friends, it's like almost validation for these old Bible verses, right? From the science of it. That your positive words, I got this, I am strong, I am resilient, I am capable, I am energetic, I am a lover of people, I am well-intentioned. Those powerful I am, here's who I am, here's who I was born to be. You start casting some vision in the right direction, right? Or you cast it in the wrong direction, but the wrong direction is 40 to 70 times more impactful. Those negative words have consequence. I am so tired. I'm so worn out. Trevor Moawad did this work when he was worked with Alabama football, for example. You can't always control what you think. maybe you could get super hyper disciplined and really into meditation. You could really figure out how to control your thoughts. But thoughts sometimes are hard. You guys know how to, sometimes we just have a thought, it's just kind of a weird thought. But your words, what comes out of your mouth, guess what you can always control? You can always control those words that pop out. You have control over that. So Trevor Moawad said to these athletes, he said, what if we just stop saying things like, I'm tired, or I'm hot, or I'm thirsty, or man, I don't really feel like I have it today. What if we just only spoke positive? Man, I'm grateful to be here. I love my team. I'm honored to be able to do this, to wear the colors and to be on the team and to wear the jersey and to have the physical health. You start focusing on all the positive in your life. You're grateful that you're part of a winning organization, a winning culture, a winning coach, and you start speaking only positive. The flip side of this, or another way to look at this, is why do we give so much power to the weight of other people's words? Why do we give them so much weight with their words? You say, well, it's because words have power. Okay, that's true, but they only have power to the amount of weight you give. I'll give you guys a quick example. I remember when I was first introduced to entrepreneurship, some of you guys have heard this story. I went to church. It was literally on the very first morning. I was like, honey, literally, I remember to my wife, we had our little boy was about 1.5 years, and I was like, babe, we're going to do this. I'm like, babe, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm like, I'm going to figure this thing out, And she's like, okay, well, all right, well, grab his bottle, And so I remember we go to church, and after the kind of congregational meeting, I'm sitting in the hallway, and I have 2 what I would call church friends. We're just small talking, waiting for the Sunday school thing to start. And how many of you have church friends? Maybe they're your social media friends, or they're your yoga friends, or they're your gym friends. My point is, you're not even really actually your friends. You just kind of happen to see them every once in a while on social media. You happen to see them every once in a while in passing at the gym. You happen to see them every once in a while in the hallways at work. They're actually not even your real friend. You never have hung out with them. By the way, you probably never would hang out with them, Their opinion really shouldn't even mean that much to you. But I'm talking to these 2 kind of church friends waiting for the thing to start. It's 45 seconds away, just kind of small talking in the hall. And I said to the one guy, I said, what's up, man? How are you doing? What's going on in your life? He's like, oh, dude, just starts complaining. Just all this negative talk, right? Oh, my wife nags me all the time. My boss is such a loser. My job sucks. Kind of goes through this whole thing. So the other guy, I'm like, okay, cool. What about you? Other guy, yeah, same as him, dude. My job sucks, and really hate it. My wife's always on me, and my kids are, driving me crazy. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. I'm thinking, man, I can't wait for this Sunday school to start, right? They said, Prince, what are you up to? I go, well, I'm just waiting, small talk. And I said, well, I'm starting a business. These 2 guys start laughing at me. And I mean, start making fun of me, like tapping their their thighs, like they're on each other, like hanging on each other, like laughing, like, oh, he's going to be a millionaire, right? Like, oh, you're going to be so successful, like making fun of me. It was almost surreal to watch. I'm sitting there like looking at them like, what the heck are you guys doing? I'm not trying to pitch you anything, sell you anything. I'm literally small talking with you, waiting for the Sunday school to start, and you're making fun of me, and I'm a grown man. I'm 25. Like, I've had this happen since 3rd grade. Like, what are you guys doing? It's just so weird. But I felt so insecure. And it was so interesting. Have you guys ever had something happen in your mind that literally in your mind, it's already happened? Like, almost like it's like happened in thought, but it hasn't happened in reality yet? I remember looking at these 2 guys, and can I be totally honest with you? What happened in my mind, my very first thought, true story, is I thought to myself, chin. I was going to knock these 2 dudes out. I was like, just pop. I was like, these 2 dudes, like, I'm a grown man. You can't like make fun of me like this, Anyway, I literally was so vivid of me doing that in my mind that I thought it already had happened. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh. I remember thinking, what if the bishop walks down, the pastor walks down the hallway and he sees these 2 guys, steps over him. Oh my gosh, what happened here? Oh, these 2 made fun of Brother Prince's dream. So the next thing and I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be the worst. And then all of a sudden I snapped out of it. Oh, phew, that hasn't happened. Now, by the way, I want to, for all those of you who are judging me, I want to share this. I've repented for even wanting to punch the 2 church friends, okay? So that wouldn't be my first thought today. Anyway, the next thing I thought to myself was I wanted to defend myself. Have you ever had that where you're like, your life sucks? Like, you hate your life. At least I'm trying to do something with my life. If you wanted to kind of defend yourself, like, man, at least I'm going for it. Man, I might dream mighty dreams and fail, but I'd rather dream mighty dreams and go for it and fail than do nothing with my life and succeed. Like, look at you 2. But fortunately didn't, I just sat there. And then the third thought that I had to myself was I was going to say to them, I was going to take the words that I'd spoken and put them back in my mouth. Just put them back in my mouth and just pretend like I said nothing. Because I thought to myself, if I said nothing, then they can't make fun of me. And if they can't make fun of me, then no one's going to know or care. I'll just go sit in the Sunday school. I'll go back. I was selling animated Bible videos at the mall. No one really knows or cares when I do that. I don't ever get made fun of. My friends, guess what I did? Nothing. I just sat there like a deer in the headlights. All those thoughts, by the way, I just explained to you probably happened in a split second, maybe 2 seconds. I just sat there like a deer in the headlights and I said nothing. I didn't punch him, fortunately. I didn't defend myself, and I didn't grab the words and speak. I didn't pull them back in and think, because, if I never would have said it, then I'm not a quitter if I quit. I just did nothing. I went and sat in the Sunday school, and I literally felt like I was 1 inch tall. These guys had cut me down to size. I wanted to quit so bad. I remember thinking to myself, like, who do you think you are to be successful? Don't most people fail in business? You're going to fail for sure, right? Like, who do you think you are? Like, you don't have what it takes. I remember just like processing through this series of emotions. And do you want to know what's so interesting? About 10, maybe 12 years later, my brother and I went to a late night movie. It was like a 10 o'clock movie. One of the ways I like to unwind is going to a movie, right? We're walking into the movie, and walking in the hallway of the movie theater is one of the church friends, the quote unquote church friends. This dude is probably 50 pounds heavier than where he was 10 years earlier. His hair had balded out. He had gone through a kind of a challenging divorce. Had, I think, lost his faith, lost his family. Was in a precarious situation. And a situation, and I'm not judging, I'm just reporting, but it's the kind of situation that you wouldn't necessarily want to, you wouldn't want to switch. Right? Here I was, beautiful family, had done well over $1 billion in sales at that point, had gone on to build a great career, the whole thing. And I remember I said, what's up to him? Hey, how are you doing? What's going on? Caught up just for a couple of moments. Hadn't seen him for 12 years. I'm walking, we leave, and I say to my brother, I said, see that guy? I almost quit because of that guy. I almost gave up because of him. My brother's like, that guy? Like, what? Who, like, I don't understand. He's like, imagine if you would have quit because he said you're not going to succeed. So my question to you is, why did I give those two church friends so much power? Why did I give their weight so much words? Oh my gosh. Why did I give so much weight to their words? And the same question for you, why are you giving so much weight to the words people speak to you? They say you don't have what it takes, and you give so much weight to that. They say that who do you think you are? And you just let that just own the weight on your shoulders. And man, you're right. I don't have what it takes. My friends, the words themselves are neutral. Think of it this way. A 3-year-old says to you, you're stupid. A 33-year-old says to you, you're stupid. The 3-year-old, you just think, whatever, no big deal. 33-year-old, all of a sudden it means something. Someone on social media, you get 18 comments. 17 of them say, great post, love it, you're an amazing person. One comment says what? Stupid post, stop posting. And which one do we click on? And which one do we go deeper on? And we say, who is this person? We kind of stretch out our thumbs. I'm going to comment back to them. My friends, we give more weight to the negative words as a habit than we do to the positive words. Here's what I want to share with you. Give more weight to the words of those who believe in you than the weight to the words of those that don't. Give more weight to the words of those that tell you that you can than those that tell you that you can't. Give more weight to those that believe in your dreams, believe in your goals, tell you that you've got what it takes. Sometimes we're almost skeptical of the people that are positive, and we're believing of the ones that are negative. The positive person says, hey, dude, I just want you to know you got what it takes. I see something special in you, and you're like, are you sure? I don't know. I'm kind of like, I'm just kind of getting started. And then someone else says, you think you're going to be successful? Yeah, right. And you're like, I know. Seriously, I totally agree. My friends, give more weight to the words of those that believe in you than the weight that you're giving to the words that don't. I had a friend sit next to former President Ronald Reagan at a National Charity Awards dinner. And he turns to Reagan and he says, Mr. President, they're up on the stand. He said, how did you become the 2-term president of the United States? And Reagan says, it's funny. He said, when I was a little boy, he said, I wanted to play football, but I told some friends I wanted to play football. And they said, Ron, you're going to get crunched out there. You're just a little guy. He said, I ultimately played high school football. He said, I listened to those who believed in me and I listened to those who told me that I could. He said, when I played high school football, I told some friends, you know what, I want to become a famous actor. I want to move to Hollywood and become an actor. They're like, Ron, you're a football player. Like, what do you know about acting? He ultimately became a famous actor. He said, I listened to those who believed in me and I listened to those who told me that I could. He said, when I was an actor, I told him I wanted to be the president of the Screen Actors Guild, for all of Hollywood. And they're like, Ron, you're just an actor. Like, what do you know about all this stuff? He ultimately became the president of the Screen Actors Guild. He said, I listened to those who believed in me and I listened to those who told me that I could. When he was an actor, he told the president of the Screen Actors Guild, he said, I want to become the governor of the state of California. And his friends are like, Ron, what do you know about this? You've been an actor. I mean, yeah, you've been the president of the Screen Actors Guild, but that's not like a governor. He ultimately became the governor of the state of California. He said, I listened to those who believed in me and I listened to those who told me that I could. He said, when I was a governor, I told some friends, I want to become the president of the United States of America. And his friends were like, Ron, you're a governor. Like, what do you know about becoming a president? He said, I became the 2-term president of the United States because I listened to those who believed in me and I listened to those who told me that I could. My friends, give more weight to the words of those that believe in you. Give more weight to the words of those that tell you that you can than the weight you're giving to those that tell you that you can't. Speak life into your future. Use your words to 10x the probability of positive thoughts. Avoid the 40 to 70x negativity of probability of the negative thoughts that you can't do it. Someone else's opinion of you does not have to be your reality. Surround yourself with positive people. Speak positive in your own life. And then only give positive to others. You don't tear people down with your words. You don't slice them up like a razor blade. I've been around the world and they say that in Asia, the nail that sticks up shall be hammered down. In Australia, they say that the tall poppy flower that grows up shall be sliced down. In back east, they say that the 2 crabs in the bucket, one tries to crawl out, the other one will pull it down. When you go for your goals and when you go for your dreams, people will hammer you, they will slice you, and they will pull you down. It is part of human nature. Give more weight to the words of those that say you've got what it takes and you can do it. I love you. If you got some value from this, make sure you share it. And then also make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. We'll continue to pour into your life and pour into your goals and your dreams and all that is possible for you. All right. I love you and I'll see you on our next episode.